Former heavyweight champion, legendary boxer Mike Tyson has a quote. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Think about it. Think about it, people. That resonates with me so heavy. Why? Because I'm a very strategic person. I'm a person that loves to plan things out. I like to be prepared. But sometimes it's hard to be prepared for every opportunity. It's hard to plan everything out. What annoys my wife the most about me is that I'm very strategic and planning, always reminding her the importance of planning things out, being strategic, being prepared for even things that you don't see. Constantly saying it to her annoys her. It's not my singing that she thinks that I'm not a good singer, which I think I'm an incredible singer. Y'all see me on display, right? Y'all heard me sing. I'm not going to sing today, but y'all know that I'm a incredible singer, so I don't know what my wife's talking about when she said I can't sing. It's not my quirky personality where I constantly just bug her and annoy her, which is my job, people. Don't judge me. It's my job to annoy her. It's that I'm constantly reminding her, hey, gotta plan, gotta be strategic, think things through, plan for things. I'll give you an example, people. When my wife revealed to me that she was pregnant, I told her, if you're lying to me, I'm not going to speak to you the rest of the day. And I was fully committed to not speaking to her the rest of the day if she was lying to me. Why? We had tried for multiple years to get pregnant, and we finally had gotten pregnant, and we just a routine doctor's appointment. Wasn't even going to find out if she was pregnant. Just a routine doctor's appointment. She revealed it to me. Naturally, I was excited. I was going to become a new father. I was excited. I was eager to meet our new child. I was eager to be a father. And I was fully mentally prepared to be a father. I was prepared, had everything prepared, had everything laid out what I was going to do. Had read the books and everything. I just knew everything was going to be, what it was going to be, what I was going to do, how to adjust everything. I was just ready. I was ready up until 3:32 in the morning on October 11, 2009. I was ready up until that point, people. I'm being honest with you. Because at that point, the doctor came in and said, hey, he's coming. It took me off into a room by myself to change my clothes, to put scrubs on, to call in the delivery room. At that moment, all of my planning, all my preparedness had drained out of my body. I was no longer prepared because I was facing the reality that now I have a new child in this world that I have to raise up, keep alive, make sure that he's eating, make sure he's clothed and he's taken care of, and I gotta protect him. I was terrified. My whole life flashed in front of my eyes. You always heard stories, haven't you? We all heard stories about people who are near-death situations and their life flashed before their eyes. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't a near-death situation. It was a kick of reality. It was me planning, having a plan before I got in the ring, and my plan went completely out the door when I got punched in the face. Why am I speaking of all this? Why did I waste probably 2-3 minutes of your time telling you a story, talking about me and my idea of having a plan and getting punched in the face by Mike Tyson? Because right now you're having a question. Right now you're questioning yourself. You're asking this question, am I ready? That's the question that you're asking right now, people. You're asking, am I ready to get married? Am I ready to have a child? Am I ready for this job interview? Am I ready to buy this car? Am I ready to come out to my mother, my father, my family, and let them know that I'm gay or bisexual? Am I ready to get more money? Am I ready for a promotion? These are some of the questions that you're asking yourself. Am I ready? And you're looking right now at me, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, Alan, am I ready? I don't know. I don't know if you're ready or not. Only you know that. Here's the truth, people. You're not ready. I can sit here and lie to you. I know the motivational part of me is supposed to sit here and say, yeah, you're ready, and give you all hyped up and souped up for this new job interview, for having a child, and telling you, like, yeah, you're ready to go buy a car, knowing that your credit's not all the way right, and that you don't got your down payment. I suppose to tell you, yeah, you're ready to get married, even though you know you're not quite ready to commit to anybody yet. You know, you still have some growing to do. You know, I suppose to tell you, yes, you're ready to go buy a house, even though you still don't have the down payment for a house and don't even know where you want to live yet. I know I'm supposed to tell you that, but the reality is I'm also supposed to be honest with you people. I don't know if you're ready. Only you know that. What I do know is this. You have to plan. Now again, Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan before you go in the ring until you get punched in the mouth. With me being a debater I am, here's my rebuttal to Mike Tyson. That's why you gotta have not one, but two plans. Think about this for a second, people. Think about this for a second. We're going to go back to all things that you're asking, am I ready for? We're going to get to, are you ready in 1 second, how you going to be ready. But just think about this for a second. When a presidential candidate goes up to be elected, on election night, what do? They create 2 speeches. One for if they do win, the other if they don't. Now, it's not speaking to existence the idea of not winning the election. It's with the idea of being prepared for any possible outcome. And that's what you have to do. Be prepared for every outcome. Now, I was prepared for my wife to go through a full-term pregnancy, but the reality is my son came early. Our son had to spend several months in the NICU. And if you're not familiar with the NICU, it's a small hospital for children who are premature. Some children put on life support. I was fully prepared to bring our son home, but that wasn't the case. And when we did bring him home, we had to bring him home with a heart monitor. So all the preparations I had made for my son getting here, all the preparations my wife made, all went to the wind. Because, see, I prepared for the best possible outcome to that situation. I didn't strategically plan for the worst scenario that could come. And see, that's what I'm going to say to y'all when you ask, am I ready? In order to be ready for an opportunity, in order to be ready for a situation, you have to plan for both possible outcomes. Now, of course, you can't know how every outcome can be. And you don't know how everybody's going to react. You don't always know how every situation is going to play out. But if you're planning for the best of a situation, but also having a preparation on plan B for the worst, then yes, you will be ready to step in to that new opportunity. That new challenge is facing you. But let me break it down deeper to you, because I can see the confusion on your face, and you might be a little lost, so you might be looking at me like, yo, but can you be a little more clearer about coming up with plan A and plan B? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by preparing for the best? And what do you mean by preparing for the worst? Let's talk about it, people. The best outcome. Let's talk about it. The best outcome is, say, going for a job. Okay, let's use a job for example. Let's say you're going for an interview. You're going into your job, you look for a promotion, okay? Now, of course, laws of attraction tell you, speak it to existence. Think that you got the job, have the mentality that you have a job. Prepare and don't think that you didn't get the job, and that's very correct. You should think that way. But when you go into that job interview, you're going into the office to talk to your manager or your boss about promotion. Yeah, you should go in there with all the intentions, all the confidence that you're going to get it. But you also be prepared and have a plan B as if you don't get it. So what's next? What's next? Let's say the manager tell you like, yeah, I know you've been doing a great job. I know you've been doing well, but you know what? Right now is not the time that we feel comfortable with giving you this promotion. What's your next plan? Is it to walk out the office, man? You're going to wild out? You're going to turn the desk over? You're going to tell the manager F you? You're going to drop some F-bombs? What you going to do? Or you're going to walk out that office and you're going to have a plan B to say, okay, either I'm going to A, sell you on why I still think that you should bless me with this opportunity, that you should give me this opportunity, and I did earn it, or am I going to have plan B set aside to say, listen, I'm going to go out there now, I'm going to show you why I'm deserving of it. I'm going to go out here and work twice as hard to prove to you that not only should you give me what I'm asking for, you should give me more than what I'm asking for. Or should your plan B be, well, you know what? You obviously don't see my potential. You don't see my growth. You don't see my worth. So I'm going to go out and find someone who will. I'm going to find a company that will. See, the importance is always planning for the best in the situation. Being ready to get what you want. And here's the other thing about that. Because, see, even when you're going in with the mindset of the laws of attraction, of speaking to existence what you want, of believing that I'm going to get this promotion that I want, you have to go in very fast. Because, see, here's the other part of planning that we miss out, people, when we're asking, am I ready for this opportunity? We're ready to get the opportunity, but once we get what we want, then it's like, then what? Then what? I said, what do you mean by then what? Then what? What do you do? Like, so, okay, you got the job. You got the job. Then it's like, oh crap, because you was talking about the laws of attraction, you was talking about, yeah, I'm going to get it, but then you get it, and they're telling you all the responsibilities, and they're telling you how much harder you're going to have to work, how much more dedication you're going to have to put into this job, how much more time, and you're like, whoa, I wasn't planning to spend another 2 or 3 hours every single day at work. I mean, I was going to do the regular 8-hour shift. Now you're telling me I got to do a 10-hour shift? I wasn't prepared for that. It's because mentally you wasn't getting prepared. Now you have to be ready when you go to work. You can't wait till you get to work. You know, I got to drink my coffee and get myself prepped up, spend the next hour to eat something, to get myself ready for work. Now you got to come in the door and you got to be ready to go because now you're a manager. Now you're making more money. So you got to do your prep work before you get to that point. Before you get to the opportunity, you have to do the prep work. You got to make sure that you're ready before you get there. Before you get an opportunity, when you're dealing with plan A, you need to make sure you're mentally, physically ready for whatever someone's going to bring to you. Whatever. You have to prepare for the best possible outcome and the worst possible outcome. You have to mentally prepare for yourself. When someone tells you you think you're going to work 8 hours, prepare to work 10 hours. Mentally, physically prepare yourself to work 10 hours. So when you come at them, when the boss come at you and say, I'm giving you this promotion and you got to work 10 hours, you're mentally prepared to work those 10 hours so you can be ready. So you're not sitting here looking at me saying, am I ready for that promotion? You're already ready for it. Another situation, marriage. Marriage. As we get older, people, we all talk about getting married. We want to settle down. We did our wild things. We, dated other people, were promiscuous, or I don't know how to say the word, but you know what I'm trying to say, promiscuous. I can't say the word. I'm going to leave it alone because I can't say it. You can tell, you know what I'm trying to say. Point is, you were doing your thing, you were having your fun, you were out partying, had a few sex partners, whatever. Now you want to just calm down. You want to settle down. You want to relax. You want to have a wife or a husband. You want to raise a family. You want to buy a house with a white picket fence, 2-car garage. You want to live in the suburbs. You want to chill out. And you want to know, am I ready to do that? Am I truly ready? Then you start asking yourself questions as you have a few single friends. You got a few friends still paying out the club, still popping bottles, still having their fun. You start asking yourself, am I ready to really commit myself to someone? Am I ready to be married? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to go illicit things. You have to understand something. Because, see, one thing I learned is people always tell younger people or people what's getting married that nothing changes when you get married. Everything stays the same. It's sort of like a relationship that, now you're just putting a ring on it. It's not true, people. It's not true at all. I've been married. I will be married officially 11 years in a week from today. Not even a week. In a few days from today. I will be married 11 years. Now, I know some of you saying it's not long. And you're right. It's not. I'm still learning a lot about my wife. She's still learning a lot about me. But one thing I learned is, through marriage and about marriage is, when people tell you that nothing changed, it's an absolute lie. It's the first lie that's told to you. Immediately things change. And what changes is, not only the commitment, but the expectations of you. Not only the expectations of your partner, but the expectations you have with your partner. Because see, now y'all are taking yourselves to another level. Now y'all committed to each other on another level. So now the commitment is to grow together. And what I mean is to grow together and not apart. Because there's an issue where people start to get into a marriage and you grow apart. That's what leads to divorce. You don't understand what I mean about growing apart? Let me explain to you, people. A lot of times when we get into marriages, we have a lot of similarities. We have a lot of common things that we do. There's some fun things we do, but over time, what happens is one of the partners say, okay, we usually drink or you smoke every night, but I'm tired of smoking. I don't want to do that. So see, that person starts to slide off. You see my hands here? It starts to slide off, and you see there becomes a space in between you two. It becomes a space. And over time, that space starts to get more and more as y'all start going into two different directions, because y'all have two different perspectives on where you want your life to be and where you want your life to go. Now, see, the people who are growing together are people who sharing a common goal, who understands that sharing a common goal don't mean we both have to want to do the same job. We don't want to have the same business, but we want to make it to the same destination. That I'm supportive of you and what you're trying to do. You're supportive of me and what I'm trying to do. That's having a common goal. That's learning to work together. That's strong. That's strength. There's no separation. You see that? There's no separation. There's no space in between that. So it's harder for other people to get in between. Now we talk about, am I ready in preparation? Because we talk about preparation, right? We talk about getting ready, planning, being strategic. And in marriage, it's more important than ever to be strategic. It's more important to plan out how you want your life to be. It's more important to get to know your partner and understand not only what they're trying to do now, but what they're trying to do in the future. One of the most important things that people will tell you, and older people and people who have married for 20, 30, 40 plus years will tell you, the most important aspect of marriage is This one word, communication. And before you get into marriage, you have to have communication. You got to be able to talk. You have to be able to talk to each other to know, where are you trying to go? What are you trying to do? How can I help you get to where you're trying to go? How can you help me get to where I'm trying to go? Are we traveling on the same road? Or we're traveling to this fork in the road that's going to lead us in two different directions, and me and you, one's going to go right and one's going to go left. What do we want? We have to do our prep work, people. We have to get to know the person who we're trying to marry and engage with and spend the rest of our life with, so we can avoid the ugly word called divorce. Now, like many things in life, like I talked to you about my son, we can't prepare for everything. Marriage has its ways of throwing bumps in the roads that you couldn't prepare for, you couldn't imagine, or you couldn't see. And some of us, let's be honest, we're arrogant. We're very arrogant. We walk into a marriage with the mindset, and despite people's longevity in the marriage and despite their advice, we think that we have the perfect relationship because we've been together so long. You know, we happy and we finish each other's sentences, and you know, we share a meal. And we just, you know, we have this bond. We got this thing. We tight. You know, we good. We good. And we go into marriage, we're very arrogant, and you know, older people try to give us advice, you know, been married a long time, 50 years, and try to give us advice and try to explain to us things like, yo, you gotta watch people from the outside get married because, see, the biggest issue in the cause of division is not going to become or be created from you and your wife or you and your husband. It's going to be created from people outside your marriage. I'm talking about your moms, your dads, your brothers, your family members, your friends, that guy at your job, that woman at your job. You know, different people are going to see happiness and joy and try to come between that. But see, you arrogant, you good, your thing is tight, you know what I mean? You don't need to prepare, you don't need to plan, you're good, you know, you're good. We finished each other's sentences, you know, I already know what you're going to say. I can go to a restaurant, order your food, you can order mine, we already know what we want, you know, we know what type of movies we like, we know what type of shows we like, you know, we good, we good. But see, it gets boring over time. It's reality in marriage, it gets boring, see? Those same TV shows that you was enjoying watching for the first 2-3 years of your relationship, well, you know, they start to get canceled. Then you gotta learn to like new TV shows, and maybe your husband likes it, but your wife doesn't. You know, you start to have kids and responsibilities. You buy a house, and there's different responsibilities, so you know you don't have as much time now to spend with each other. So that becomes an issue. And it becomes an issue where you can't give the wife as much attention, you can't give the husband as much attention as you need to, and now the person at your job or your best friend who was already scooping on you and scheming on you, they trying to feed in your head some nonsense, and they trying to tell you like, yo man, you should be hanging out with the club with me. Or your friend trying to tell you, your girl trying to tell you, like, yo, you should go to a bar, you know, let's go get a drink. Let's go to a singles bar. And that's starting to create that division between you. Starting to create the division because you're starting to see, look, we don't see eye to eye. We don't have as much attention and time for each other no more. So, you know, we came in, we was good, we was tight, you know, we was strong, we was gonna be all right. We know we didn't need to listen to nobody. It's important not to be arrogant. It's important not to be arrogant. In order to be ready to embark on that journey they call marriage, to reach successful marriage, long happiness, and to avoid that ugly word called divorce, it's important. It's very important, people, to know your partner. But more importantly, to know that things change. Things change over time. Things get harder. The road's going to get rocky. And you have to prepare for that. But be prepared to fight. And that's the thing. Be prepared to fight for your marriage. Be prepared to fight for your marriage like you prepared to fight for many other things. Like you prepared to fight for that promotion. Or the correct order when you went to McDonald's. Or Taco Bell. Or Pizza Hut. Wherever you go get your food and they mess your order up and you arguing with the person at the window or the person giving you food. Fight like that for your marriage. Because there's going to be times where your marriage is going to be challenged. There's going to be times you don't see eye to eye. There's going to be times where you guys see yourself separating. But you got to be strong enough to fight to pull the other one back to you. And no matter how many times you have to pull them, you got to be willing to understand, no, that in order to sustain and keep this thing we call matrimony, to maintain and keep this happiness, this joy, that is something we have to fight for. Because anything worth having is worth fighting for. You have to understand in marriage, you're going to get punched. You're going to go in with that plan that you know you're going to be happy and we're going to watch the same TV shows, we're going to finish the same sentences and stuff. But like Mike Tyson said, when you get in the ring and all that preparation is going to go away when you get punched. Because the moment they cancel on TV shows and you got to watch something new, that's your punch. When you have kids and you know what? Your kids take up most of your time because when you get off work, you got school work to do, you got homework, then you got to deal with making dinner, then your kids want to run around, you got to bathe them, then you got to get them ready for bed, then you got to get stuff ready for tomorrow. Before you know it, it's bedtime for you. So you ain't really had time to catch up on that show. You ain't really had time to show your husband or your wife too much attention. And you know what? It's kind of hard to get sexy when you up to your elbows in dirt and sweat and snot and pee and whatever else a child gave to you. I know it's disgusting, but it's the reality of the situation. And those are the days you have to prepare for and understand that there's going to be rocky days in your marriage and that you have to fight to maintain and keep it. And you have to find joy in the little things. Find happiness in the little things. Focus on the positives of your marriage and not highlighting the negatives. You got to focus, people. A lot of things we get prepared for is money. Another thing we talk about is money. Don't we all love money? And we all feel like we get a lot of money, especially if you're poor. If you grew up poor, you grew up broke, and you know what I'm talking about broke. I'm talking about buying your sneakers from the supermarket. I'm talking about when you at the mall, you know, you up there trying to hide when you trying to got your mom shopping on the clearance rack and stuff. I'm talking about broke, man. I'm talking about sewing your own tags in the back of your clothes, you know, going to the swap meet to buy some name brand clothes. I'm talking about when you was broke, you know, you started to appreciate money. You appreciate money a lot more when you grow up broke. You know, you ain't got a lot of food in the house. You appreciate money. But you also start to think, you know, money is going to be the thing that changes my life and make me completely happy. You start thinking money is the answer to all my prayers, to all my problems. And that if I get a large sum of money, if I hit the lottery, I get $1 million, and guess what? My whole life gonna change, and everybody around me's life gonna change. I'm gonna be this whole different person, be the better person. And you're absolutely right. When you get that $1 million, when you hit that lottery, when you become rich, your whole darn life is gonna change, people. Your life is gonna change. But it ain't always for the better. Because see, we prepare to what we're going to do. We do our prep work before we get that $1 million. We do our prep work. When we play in lottery, we're doing our prep work. We're preparing. We're saying to ourselves, I am ready to get it. I am ready to get this $1 million. I am ready to win this lottery. And when we hit the lottery, we're like, yo, I already know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to buy my mom a car, my mom a house, my dad a house. I'm going to buy me a big mansion. I'm going to travel. You know, the women are going to say, you know what, I'm going to buy some hair extensions. The dudes, I'm going to buy me a whole bunch of Jordans. Yo, I'm going to be stunting. I'm going to get a car. You already planned what you want to do. You already have everything mapped out. You know who you're not going to give money to. I'm like, nope. Because remember that time, you know, I needed some money to get some gas in my car, and you said no? Well, nope. I can't give you no money now. I'm rich because I'm holding a grudge because you ain't give me gas money. You already prepared for what you're going to do. Here's the reality of the situation, people. It's the one thing that you didn't prepare for is what's going to come and bite you in your butt. You know what that one thing is? You're prepared for the changes you're going to make and the positive changes you're going to make, but you're not prepared for the changes that other people will make. See, here's the thing. Money don't only change you. It changes other people. And that's the thing we never plan for is the fact that it changes other people. So that person you saying no to because they ain't give you no gas money the time you ran out of gas, and you telling them, no, I ain't give you no money now. You talking about, yo, I ain't helping you out. I ain't giving you no money. But now that person's changed. That person comes animosity towards you. You talking about, I'm going to buy my mom a house, buy my cousin a car, I'm going to do this and that for people. And that's great. You do take care of people. You ain't the person who, you know, holding grudges. But see, when is it enough? Because see, that person that you bought a house for, you bought a car for, you gave some money to, now it needs some more money. Now it needs some more money. Now it needs some more money. And when you decide to say no, oh, now you're changing. You're becoming a different person. You got money and you became different. You're just fancy now. You think you're better than everybody. See, now people are looking at you like you changed. Also, what happens is money doesn't come with instructions. So you start spending and spending and spending and spending before you know it, you're right back in the situation you started in. Then you find yourself with millions of dollars and you find out the happiness that money promised you doesn't really exist. Because the reality of what money does is it heightens who you truly are. So if you're a person who has a spending habit and you always on Amazon shopping and you always buying clothes, and you always got to spend money, then guess what? When you get money, The only difference is you're not going to be shopping at Amazon no more. You're going to be hanging out in the Gucci store, the Louis Vuitton store. You're going to be shopping in Paris. You're going to spend more money. You're not going to become this big saver. You're not going to become a philanthropist. You're just going to become a bigger version of who you are. Now, if you are a philanthropist, if you're a person who likes to donate, likes to help other people, only thing that's going to happen is you're going to become a bigger philanthropist. You're going to donate more. You're going to open yourself to opportunities to do more. The point of this is saying this, people. You have to do your prep work before you get the money. Find out who you want to be, how you want to be, what you want to be, and prepare and be strategic to make those adjustments now. So when you do finally hit the lottery, you do finally get $1 million, you're not trying to change and adjust to who you want to be. You're going to already be that person. Do your prep work now. So when you ask it, am I ready? You're going to know in your heart, yes, I am ready to make $1 million. Yes, I am ready to be rich. Yes, I am ready. You can answer that question with full confidence when you do your prep work and make sure that you're ready. Other thing, fame. We're going to do this one last one because I know we're running out of time and do one more. I'm trying to get as many as I can get in. Fame. Fame is an addictive drug. I'm going to make this real short because I got one more I got to get in. Fame is an addictive drug that we all want. We want to be on camera, we want to be seen, we want to be the person that everybody looks to, we want to be a celebrity, but we don't understand sometimes that drug can be a drug that kills them. And sometimes becoming a part of that camera can mean separating and giving up the biggest part that we take for granted every day, and that's our privacy. Understand something, people. When you're constantly in front of the camera, this includes myself, I have to understand that privacy is not something that I have a lot of. And it's something that I appreciate more because I try to bare my soul and tell you a lot about me. I talk about my children. I talk about my wife. I talk about my family. I talk about myself. So I'm bearing a lot of myself to you because I want you to understand that I'm just an ordinary person just like you and that I understand and I relate to you. But it also comes at a cost of me giving away a lot of my personal privacy. Understand some people. When you're talking about being famous, you want to be in front of the camera, do your prep work and understand what you're giving up. Make sure that mentally inside you that you're prepared for what's going to come because you're going to have people that you don't know trying to break you down, beat you down. Every little mistake you make, every little flaw in you, they're going to try to expose. So mentally prepare yourself for what's going to come with that drug and don't let that drug overtake you. You make sure you control it. Now I want to make that short and I know we'll probably need more about that, but we'll talk about that another time because I want to get into one more thing that we don't have a lot of time to get into, but I feel very important because I spoke about it briefly in the beginning. Coming out to your mother or father and saying, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. I don't know if that's the politically correct right word to use, but we're going to use that word. I believe it's right to say I'm gay or I'm bisexual. And it's very complicated to do that. It's very complicated to do that. A lot of people struggle with that. And, what should I do? Because you don't know how your parents can respond to it. And you might be asking me, well, Alan, how do you prepare for that? I don't know. I'm not gay, and it's not to say that I have something wrong with it or I say anything's wrong with it. It's not to say that. It's just say I'm not. So I don't know what it's like to live in those shoes and to be able to say it. What I can offer you is courage. What I can offer you is the courage and to say to you, be strong and be comfortable inside your sexuality and who you are. There's true that people are going to have opinions about you. There's going to be people who disapprove of your choice. But it don't matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that's going to disapprove of something you do. There's people who disapprove of things I talk about and things I say. And trust me, one of the biggest issues with this show and trying to convince people to see a different perspective is to get to people to understand that it's not me trying to push my agenda on you, but just trying to give you a different point of view to look from. And a lot of times when you're coming out to people and you're saying that you're gay or that you want to date a man or you want to date a woman, the problem is people are not so open to seeing that perspective that you're coming from. They're so caught up in their world and the way they want to live that they forget to see you and focus on your happiness and what makes you happy. The truth is, do what makes you happy. Live your best life. Be happy, be comfortable in yourself. The world's not going to accept all of us. And a lot of times the world's going to not accept something about any of us. But we have to be comfortable enough in ourselves to understand that our happiness, our true happiness, our true acceptance lives inside of us, and us accepting who we are and what we feel about ourselves, and making sure that we're happy, that we're living truthfully to us, that we're living our truths, not to accommodate what someone else wants for us, what someone else believes about us, what someone else needs from us, but what we need for ourselves. We have to prepare when you go in to tell your mother, your father that you're gay, or that you may be met with acceptance, or that you may be met with denial, with heartbreak. You have to also be patient enough to understand that some people were taught a certain way and was raised a certain way, and that it takes time for people to be retrained, for a person's brain to be recalibrated, to understand and accept this new information that's being given to them. And that's something I deal with every day that I can speak on. Every week, every Sunday, what I have to deal with when I put a new episode out is the fact that people who are dealing with mentally blocks, that they were taught a certain way. Their minds worked a certain way. They were taught to see the world a certain way. And what I'm attempting to do is recalibrate, rechange, and retrain the way they think, to try to look at things from a different perspective, to understand people's point of view that may be different from theirs. It's a challenge. It's a journey. It's not easy, and it's one of the biggest challenges I deal with every single day. And what makes me ask myself the question, am I ready to take on this job? But I also have to do prep work. So to all the people who are out there dealing with this thing, or dealing with the changes and wanting to come out to their parents, to their family members, to their loved ones, understand this. Anyone who truly loves you will accept you for who you are and not for what they want you to be. And anyone who is not willing to accept you for who you are, you gotta start the question. What is their importance in your life? How much do they really love you? And are their feelings coming from a place where they're thinking about your happiness, your joy, your peace? Or is it coming from a place where they're worried about what someone thinks about them, or how they will be judged? Understand something. Coming out as being gay is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a hard task and hard pill to swallow, because though society and the world is changing, there's still some people who are holding out that only see things, ideology in a certain way, who are not going to be so accepting. And those are the people that I ask you to be patient with. I ask all of you to be patient with as we constantly go through all the changes happening in the world. Whether we're dealing with gay pride, or we're dealing with racism and the adjustment of equality with black people. I'm asking you to prepare for the changes that are coming, the positive changes that are coming. I'm asking you to recalibrate your brain, your mindset, your way of thinking, the point of view that you're looking for, to see things from a different perspective. See things from a person's perspective, who feel like they're a minority in a majority society. I want you to think, people. I want you to take this time, this episode, reflect on what I said. And when you ask, am I ready? Follow that question up with, am I prepared? And you'll find your answer. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past and Present Podcast. And until next time I see you, people, I only got one thing left to say to you. Stay tuned. Peace.